4.5 months on the road, and our cycle journey to the most remote cinema in Britain rolled on. At long last, we'd made it to Scotland. This was the last country on our cycle tour, and winter was right on our heels.
Is it getting deeper? Or is it... Oh my god, I'm going too far out into the middle!
Our next target was Thurso, and it was there that we'd try and catch a ferry to Shetland. So the plan was to cycle Scotland's west coast with a couple of detours en route. A journey that would take us through some of our toughest conditions yet.
I can't really feel my hands anymore.
And deep into the Scottish Highlands.
They've stopped the traffic for us on this road, or they're about to, because we're too slow for the traffic lights. Cheers, thank you very much. We got our own personal escort. VIPs over here.
Very warm welcome to Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland, you're doing well so far. Thank you. And to Glasgow, 73 kilometres. It's 73 miles, damn it! Not kilometres. Miles go by so much slower. This is so nice. How cool is this? We're like right on the sea. This is now 6:45 in the evening. Daylight really is fading earlier and earlier. We probably did this the wrong way round. We should have been heading south at this time of year, but oh well. A little bit further up and then we turn left.
After pedalling through the dark, we stopped off in Ayr, a day's ride from Glasgow.
Thank you, Adam, for having us. It was very nice to meet you.
From here, we began our journey to the city.
Wow, the season's really changing. How's the ride today, Jill?
So quiet and peaceful.
Yeah.
I'm really getting lost in my thoughts along the time.
Beautiful.
God, it's just serene.
Just a lovely bit of peace and quiet. That's what we don't get that enough on this bike tour, and so it's about time we had some, and I'm really appreciating it. We're just on our way to Glasgow. Basically our first few days of continuous relaxation for ages, because we've been going for so long since court. Yeah, about a month. Every time we stopped, apart from once in just outside Galway, we've been like doing interview stuff, or I've been trying to save my laptop. I'm very much looking forward to it.
I look forward to rest days, and then I get restless and want to do
Yeah, that's true. You get like antsy by like midday, not having done anything. But I am quite happy to just sit in bed tomorrow and watch a lot of movies. We can see Glasgow in the distance. There it is. We're in Glasgow.
We put the cameras down and rested up for a couple of days. But we couldn't visit Scotland without stopping by its capital. So before we continued north, we took a detour to Edinburgh. Even though we'd been travelling for months, it's not actually that often on a trip like this that you really feel like a tourist. So having a few days of sightseeing was a welcome change. And lucky for us, we had an unofficial guide, our warm showers host, Andy, who even let me try on his kilt.
Go over your shoulder. Yeah, this is called a ski and do, traditional knife that you wear in your sock. This and the knife that the Sikh religion carries are the only concealed weapons you can legally carry in the UK. So this is tweed.
This is quite nicely warm. And Andy now.
Yes. This is the only interesting whiskey of the bunch.
Okay.
But then there's a whole story that will unfold. We're drinking these two because they're cheap. But they demonstrate what I'm trying to demonstrate. And give you enjoy it. And if you want to have a taste when it's neat, you can.
Mapley?
Yeah. Well, it's not bad. What you should get from that 15 is more kind of fruity notes, like Christmas cake sort of flavour.
Yeah, now you say that, it's very Christmas
And that's
pudding.
the kind of absolutely Christmas pudding. Yeah, cracking. If you add a little bit of water to that, this will get a lot better.
Nice, isn't it?
Very ravey, very autumnal. You doing alright? Thank you, Andy, for having us.
Thank you.
And for cycling.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's been really, really nice.
Yeah.
Cycle in the rain.
Andy's chosen to cycle a good 15 kilometres in this with us today. Now he's going that way, back to Edinburgh, and we're going this way to Glasgow.
And freedom.
Yeah. We've just left Edinburgh and are beginning a big push up towards the west coast of Scotland. Bit of a rogue time of year to be cycling up here and to be heading north. It's almost November now. We're gonna try and just push through the weather and get up there as quickly as possible so that we can have a nice relaxing few days in Shetland, actually on Outskerries, at the Schoolhouse cinema. And we still have yet to decide what film we're gonna watch when we get there. This is annoying. Very hard to cycle on this, so we're gonna walk because the risk of falling in here is high. Doing well. All right. This is pretty horrendous. I can't really feel my hands anymore. I'm just trying to cycle fast so that my body kind of warms up a little bit. But this is pretty brutal. We've been in this for a few hours now, and I've got a few more hours to go. Got to embrace all kinds of weather on these trips. This is bit of serious. Whoop. This is kind of crazy. What the hell? So we've ended up in this canal tunnel, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. It's nice and dry in here at least. How cool.
Absolutely freezing, drenched, and with morale starting to waver, we stopped to take some shelter at a peculiar landmark.
Yeah, it's weird looking, isn't it?
The Falkirk Wheel, which lifts canal boats 24 metres into the air to connect two different canals.
That's kind of crazy. Jail pop quiz. How many elephants could this thing lift?
100.
This is... How many of these are there in the world? Just one. And what animal's rib cage inspired the design of this wheel?
7 bones of a whale's ribcage.
Impressive stuff, Jill. You have passed with flying colours.
After a while trying but failing to warm up, it was time to pedal on.
How are you doing, Jill?
Fine.
A bit cold?
Hot.
No?
Too hot.
Too
if
warm,
anything.
that's why
Yeah.
you're so
I
wrapped
think
up.
I'm burning.
Gloves?
They're wet.
Okay.
Top? Wet.
I thought your top was dry.
Shoes?
Only your arms.
Yeah, but that means that all the breeze gets in and then it's cold.
It's actually better. You're shivering. No.
We should
Stop
go.
that. How are you feeling?
I feel like a little slug. I got soggy feet, got soggy arms, but apart from that, everything's okay.
We're about an hour and a half away from our hosts in Glasgow.
An hour and a half just feels like so long, and it's
Yeah.
dark for an hour of it.
It has been a bit of a tough day, but we'll power through and we'll be there. There'll be a laundry thing. We can do laundry. I think they call them a washing machine.
That's food.
A dryer, food.
Chilled beer.
Yeah. The rain's cleared up. It was a pretty hard day up until now. I was really struggling earlier, but this is pretty gorgeous, I have to say.
After one of our hardest days in a while, we rolled into Glasgow well after dark, where our hosts, Will and Miriam, were waiting for us. And after sorting us out with food and laundry, Will very kindly offered to give our bikes some much needed TLC before we left in the morning.
Without adjusting it, it wasn't possible to mount it. Yeah, it's like pulling on a slack piece of rope. You're not pulling anything, it's just pulling in the slack. A bit more just jumping. A little bit more.
Oh, there's like rope in there.
Oh, really? Okay, let me just get...
It's
Bit quite loose.
That's from the tent? Oh, I think I got it out.
Got it out.
What is that from?
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you for coming.
It's so nice to meet you all, and thank you, Max, who is asleep at the moment. Cheers, guys.
Good luck.
Just from the trees. Oh, this looks really cool on here. Oh God. Oh. Oh no. Keep doing it. Watch out for the edge of the path. Is it getting deeper? Or is it... Oh my God, I'm going too far out into the middle.
I was so worried I was gonna stop.
That is so flooded. As the trip is getting closer to the end, I mean, we've still got a few weeks, but in the final stretches, sometimes those are the parts where it gets like the hardest. And I've just been missing home a bit today and starting to look forward to coming home and finally resting for a long period of time, getting off the bikes, staying warm for ages, and yeah, just being in one place for a while. I think moving around so much and often not knowing where you're going to sleep, it can wear you down after a while.
After another chilly day of pedalling, we made it to the shores of Loch Lomand, where we'd planned to find a picturesque spot to camp.
Yeah.
We can tie that around there. Taryn Friedman, describe to me what has just happened.
We very quickly realised that this isn't a very good camping spot at all, and we tried to pitch a tent on a beach, and that didn't work. It was getting dark, and the ground was soaking. Loads of it was really muddy. There's rocks everywhere. We tried to pitch a tent on the beach, realised we couldn't after about 10 minutes, so moved to another
Because
spot.
it was too gravelly and the pegs wouldn't go in the ground.
Went to another spot. There was just rocks everywhere, so we couldn't do that. And then eventually we moved to this place, which is a little, a veranda, is that the word?
Yeah.
Outside the visitor centre.
Welcome to our crib. Here's a tour. We've got bungees hooking around this over here, and another bungee going around this one, and then we've got a nice water feature here, which is gonna, you can't see it too much, but that's a really nice touch, kind of ups the market value. We've got another bungee going on here, padded out with some panniers on this side. All of our stuff. We've got some coat hooks, that's really lovely, and some nice paint decoration here. That's really, I think it's a Banksy. Do you know if that's a Banksy?
Put this through.
We've got a bungee masterclass going on there with another string thing tied here. Oh, and we've got loads of en-suites. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 en-suites.
So here we are. Back at it again.
It's colder this time.
We are back in the tent for the first time in like a week and a half.
The last time was in Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, when it was
No, it was about a week and a half.
bloody freezing that night. It's less cold tonight, actually.
That you're saying this because you have a new down sleeping bag.
Okay, so
Of course it's
Andy,
colder for you.
our last host, lent me this amazing down sleeping bag to use. That was very kind of Andy, so thank you, Andy. Oh my god, you're amazingly colour coordinated with the tent right now. Someone just paying for parking next to where we're camping.
After a terrible night's sleep, there was only one thing keeping our spirits up in the pouring rain. Today, we'd be hitting our 4,000th kilometre cycled.
How are you feeling about today?
Great. Let's go.
So much spray. Today is much rainier than yesterday. It's been pretty brutal so far.
Sorry. I was breaking. Sorry.
It's rain and brakes and gel goes next.
Soaked as usual, we stopped for lunch to mark our 4,000th kilometre.
4,000 kilometres we've cycled.
4,001 kilometre ago.
Yeah.
4,000 kilometres.
And sat in the warmth, watching the rain outside, we felt like we'd earned some kind of reward for making it this far.
Cycled our 4,000th kilometre. It rained all day. And now we get on the train. It's very important to maintain your well-being on a trip like this. So.
This is a well-being day. I'm kind of happy about this. I think it's a good decision. And this is actually arguably one of the best parts of the cycle ride today.
Well-being day!
Well-being day.
Neither of us got much sleep last night. It's rained all day. Rained yesterday. Rained the day before. We've got a long way to go. And we've come a very long way. We've done 4,000 kilometres. Today we did our 4,000.
Yeah.
Therefore, we deserve to sack it in and get the train.
We'd crossed into the Scottish Highlands, and the next 4 hours of cycling in the rain had become a 45-minute train journey. Ahead of us lay spectacular scenery, some huge climbs through the mountains, and a fast-approaching winter. So for now, we enjoyed the warmth and comfort of a hostel in Oban for a couple of days before our cycle journey through the Highlands would truly begin.